Hey, a few days ago I reviewed Tony's American Marine list, but he also sent me a Japanese list, and it's something that I've been seeing cropping up more and more. And it's promising at least to be a indirect fire Japanese list. And I first encountered this, really heavily encountered this, with one of my teammates, Mark, who plays on the Danish WTC team. He was with us in Cork on Denmark B, and he is from my club as well. And he plays Japanese, and he started bringing loads of light mortars, um, the Grenadier units, and um, and he's been playing around with this for maybe 2 years now. And then a few weeks back, Russell Wright of the Welsh WTC team, he won a tournament using a Japanese indirect fire list. And now I am seeing Japanese indirect fire lists coming into my inbox. So this is all very interesting. Some new meta that's emerging here now, that's sort of being built as we speak. Something is changing in how people play Japanese. The bamboo horde never really works anymore. People people are onto it, the bamboo horde. But maybe Japanese mortars is a thing. So let's go and check out his list and see what it is that he's doing here. So, Tony, now I remember from last time, Tony, that you had, in my eyes, you had a problem with low dice count, and this one certainly does as well. 1,000 points, 11 order dice. For me, that is too low. You're going to be lacking order dice at some point. 13 to 15 is the point where you want to be. 11 is just too few. But what have you got for those 11 order dice? We have a second lieutenant. Yes, give him a submachine gun and make him go banzai. He's really cool, and he helps with the morale once your mortars get pinned, which they will. Then Grenadiers, veteran Grenadier units, these can be regulars, and you can save a few points for extra men. Because look at the price tag on this one unit. It's almost 180 points for, what is it? Eight veterans. 180 points for 8 veterans. It's extremely expensive, but it does have 3 light mortars. Now, and I can't promise you this. Shoot all 3 mortars at the same enemy target. If they go down, they're going to get hit because you have 3 mortars shooting at them. If they don't go down, they are definitely in trouble as well. And they're going to have to move away. They're going to have to run away because you're going to shoot at them. And if they don't move more than 3 inches from the point where that whole unit was situated before, you're going to still be shooting at them. So I think you could get away with 1 less mortar, and I think you could get away with having them regulars, but they are very, very good, these IGA Grenadier units. And we have 3 of them. Wow, that's a lot of points. Then we have an IGA Veteran Grenadier unit here without the mortars, and it is 18 men, full strength, 234 34 points. This is too big. Cut it down to 2 units. Have 2 order dice instead. I can see the point because veteran fanatics are extremely dangerous and they can run in front of your grenadiers. You know what you can do? Okay, this is the setup, right? You make all these grenadiers, you make them regular instead. Then you have them in a line, and right in front of them, 6 inches in front of them, is your 2 large veteran units. Because you cut this in 2, it's still going to be large units, right? That's 9 men units. And you string them out in what's called a conga line. So they are on a one long line. Now, these veterans that you have in front, because they are going to be veterans, They are going to give you soft cover for your grenadiers, and that means that your grenadiers can shoot over the veterans into whatever incoming in front of the veterans. The enemy doesn't want to assault you because veteran fanatics don't want to do that. So they want to move up and shoot, but if they move up and shoot, you're going to immediately punish them by pumping out light mortars into them. That is terrifying. Terrifying. Night infiltrators, these are really good. They have a lot of interesting special rules, but remember to ask your TO if they are allowed. They are not necessarily allowed in all generic reinforced platoons, and this is a generic reinforced platoon. Then we have a light mortar. Yes, inexperienced, you don't need it to be anything more than inexperienced. Suicide anti-tankers, 3 of those. They're really cheap order dice. They're very difficult to use, but they are a good threat. Have them again running behind your line of veterans, and then be ready to move up if an enemy tank comes towards you. Have them out of sight, out of line of sight most of the time if you can, and then make a run, and then the enemy tank will have to get the first order dice next turn. That's also why you need more order dice in the bag, because if you get the first order dice and you're standing right next to an enemy tank, boom, it goes, right? Because that is a +8 penetration, so everything else, everything but a 1, and most tanks just go away. The Kai Shinto Chiha tank, that's an 8+ medium anti-tank gun with rear-facing MG and forward-facing MG. It's too expensive at 155 points. I would rather, for these points, get a Horo, because then it means that you have a heavy howitzer as well with all your other indirect shots. Or there's even a closed top tank with a medium howitzer, I think, for the Japanese. I think you should get one of those instead. But there's a lot of interesting stuff in this list. Tony, thanks you so much for the list, and good luck with it. Cheers.